What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers have officially signed two-way players. Trey Jamison is the third. We'll see what they do with Trey Jamison, if they end up keeping him or if they end up waiving him and bringing somebody else in. Time will tell. There's still several guys that make some sense on a two-way contract. I'll get into that here in a moment. But the Los Angeles Lakers, the first signing was Christian Koloko, which I think we all kind of expected, right? Koloko was good for the Lakers in that kind of summer league run. He didn't play in the California Classic, but came into Las Vegas, right? Played defense, did good things, right? He's a guy that is still young enough. Lakers are high on, kind of gives you Jackson Hayes, but I think better defensively as well as the floor spacing, his ability to shoot the three ball. Fine with Christian Koloko. I figured that they would keep Christian Koloko. Again, I don't know if they're going to keep Trey Jamison because he really had his struggles. He didn't look great in Summer League. Granted, Summer League and the role he's playing in Summer League is not the same as what he would do on an actual NBA roster, just spacing, the style in which the offense ran, and just his role in his job and what you're looking for him to do. So we'll see in that regard. But Christian Koloko, again, was the guy expected. He gives them kind of that center depth. If a guy misses time or anything like that, you can bring in Koloko and kind of fill and play that role. Also a guy that could be, a bit of a Luka guy. Right? Lob threat, floor runner. I do think there are some redundancies with Christian Koloko and a Jackson Hayes, but still, I think Christian Koloko, guy that makes some sense, and it's nice to hold on to him in case, say next season, Jackson Hayes ends up leaving and departing, you can bring in a Christian Koloko, or if the Lakers end up, trading Jackson Hayes in a package, because remember, he waived his no trade clause, so if you end up trading Jackson Hayes at some point, you can bring Christian Koloko in, he can kind of play that third center role for the Lakers. So I'm all on board for the Christian Koloko signing. Again, we'll see what they do with Trey Jamison. However, the other signing is the one that is kind of questionable, right? I like the signing. You get into the signing. They basically just replaced Jordan Goodwin. It's basically what they did. So the Los Angeles Lakers, and this is per Shams. I'll read the report, and then I'll dive into to Chris Manon. The Los Angeles Lakers plan to sign 7-footer Christian Koloko and forward Chris Manon on a two-way NBA contract, sources tell ESPN. Manon, undrafted out of Vanderbilt, played for the Warriors in the California Classic and Las Vegas Summer League. Koloko played 37 games for the Lakers last season. So, talking about Chris, right? He's the one that people are like, where did that come from? Again, he didn't play with the Lakers in Summer League, played with the Golden State Warriors. He was really good in Golden State. He is a 6'5", athletic, versatile, kind of defensive point of attack guard. So he's 6'5", he's got good size. He's like 225 pounds now. Got some weight, got some good size, and just a hyper athlete. Could be a slasher, cutter. He's not a three-point shooter, though. He only shot like 18.5% in college in Vanderbilt, so definitely needs to work and improve on his three-point shooting. He's 23 years old. He'll be 24 in December, so basically, 2 months into the season. So he is a bit older, right? Doesn't really shoot the three ball well. Now, he is one of the better rim finishing guards in all of college last year. I mean, he had like almost an 80% rim finish rate. He's a guy that can operate in kind of that mid-range. He can apply that rim pressure. Like, he's a guy that can still score the basketball. But if you want him as like your 3-and-D guard, he's not there yet. Now, defensively, he is. He is a guy that can come in and be that point of attack defensive guard for you. He's a guy that can apply pressure, defend 1 through 3. And you're seeing this trend with the Lakers, right? The Lakers want to bring in athletic, versatile, point of attack guards that you can put out there. So now the Jordan Goodwin waiving makes a little more sense, where you're bringing in a guy in Chris Manon who is basically gives you what Jordan Goodwin gives you. And now you have him under a two-way, so you open up that roster spot. So whether it's now and the Lakers pull off some trade and end up freeing roster space, or as we move closer to the end of the season when contracts are prorated, and now maybe you can sign a guy on $1 million or whatever, that we'll see what the Lakers end up doing with that. Again, I don't think Chris is going to be a huge part of this team right now, but I do think he's a guy that can come in training camp, get a look, get some work, kind of see what he does, show that defensive capabilities. I mean, this is a guy that averaged nearly 2 steals and a block in college and in Summer League. So this is a guy that gets after it defensively, high motor, right? He's got good ball handling. He's got good playmaking ability, right? He has the potential to be better than what Jordan Goodwin is, right? What Chris brings is he basically, here's a better way to put it. He's basically a bigger Gabe Vincent, or what we want Gabe Vincent to be. A guy that can initiate the offense, make plays, right? He's not like, Luka out there, but he's a guy that can make plays, run the pick and roll, do the basics. On top of that, be that point of attack, but he has the size, right? Where Jordan Goodwin and Gabe Vincent, they're, 6'3", in that range. So he's bigger, he's taller, he's longer, right? And he's also a really good rebounder. One of the things about Jordan Goodwin is he was a good rebounder, right? He got after it, good nose for the basketball, good feel for the basketball, could go and track down and get those loose balls. Well, Chris Manon, he can do the same thing. He's a guy that can rebound, can defend, right? Make plays, operate, be a point of attack, apply rim pressure. He's very explosive off the dribble, which is good, right? So he can, again, you need that to be able to blow by defenders, get to the basket, right? He's a guy that, you can kind of have him initiate. Boom. Ball goes to Luka, then he's playing off ball, moving off ball, and if you lose sight of him even for a second, he's gone heading to the basket for an easy lob or an easy, just bounce pass, catch, finish. He's got good hands, good finishing ability. He can finish through contact, finish with either hand. So he is a very skilled guard. Lakers have also had success with those kind of older, more mature, veteran type of guards. This is a guy that played in Cornell and then went to Vanderbilt, and so he's a guy that, again, knows, understands, and plays his role. He looked really good for the Warriors in Summer League. He was kind of their defensive assignment guy and did it well and did it with some pride. Lakers need and want those kind of guys. High motor, high athleticism, defensive versatility, can defend multiple positions. I mean, he could, if he develops a three-point shot, could even be our Max Christie replacement, right? Because he has the defense. That's the key. He already has the defensive versatility. It's just, can he develop the three-point shot in a sense to where now he's not a liability in that regard? Because, yes, the last thing the Lakers need right now is offense. They have plenty of offense. They need defensive balance. And he's a guy that can come in right now and give you that defensive balance, without a doubt. However, you don't want a guy that's shooting 20% from three-point range. I've talked about it. With Luka, you're not as worried and concerned with teams packing the paint. It's not as big of an issue, right? Because when you had Anthony Davis and LeBron, you couldn't afford to have the paint pack because that's where LeBron and Anthony Davis, it's where they live. It's where they operate, right? I mean, even when we won the in-season tournament, what did Darvin Ham do? He just basically put LeBron and Anthony Davis on the block and everything ran through them on the inside. And teams can't stop it because you got that, right? But when you get to the playoffs, teams pack the paint. They trust that, like, hey, Jared Vanderbilt, why did Jared Vanderbilt get played off the court? Because you can't keep him out there because the teams are just packing the paint, letting him shoot, and it's making things harder for LeBron and Anthony Davis. Now LeBron kind of becomes a jump shooter. Now Anthony Davis becomes a jump shooter, right? And that's not really, yes, they can do it, but that's not what they want to do possession after possession after possession. So you're not generating as good offense. But with Luka, he's not worried about the paint being packed. He actually prefers it, right? Because he wants to create that dribble penetration. He wants to get to his spots, shoot over the top, and knock it down. He is a jump shooter, right? He's a guy that can shoot over the top, right? But also, if the defense collapses, then it's an easy outlet to the lob threat. You're running the pick and roll action, or you can even kick out shooters. But LeBron prefers the kick out pass. I'm not saying Luka doesn't kick out shooters, but I'm saying he wants to operate in that 10-foot range and then have that outlet for the lob threat, right? If that doesn't open up and teams are then he's kicking out to the shooters, right? Where LeBron, he wants to put his head down, get to the basket, drive to the basket, finish through that contact, or if they collapse, then he kicks out to the shooter, usually on the weak side corner. Like, that's how LeBron likes to operate. But with Luka, you can kind of get away with a guy like Chris to come in if he is a liability shooting the basketball, but it's not something you want forever. I'm not saying he has to be elite from three-point range. It really boils down to how good is he defensively at an NBA level. It's one thing to be elite in college, elite in summer league. It's another thing to be elite defensively in the actual NBA, right? If they can do that, then now you're talking like, okay, now he's a positive, but you need him to be able to knock down the three ball with some consistency. You need him to, even league average. Can he be 36% from three-point range? So I imagine this year what the Lakers will do is they're going to kind of have him just, hey, we just want you shooting threes, right? Like, you're just having him just work on his three all season long, all off season, right? In the G League, take some shots and because you still have to shoot it. If you're open, shoot it, right? Because then you're just wasting time. You're disrupting the flow of the offense, right? So you need him to be able to comfortably be able to shoot that basketball. You don't want him having to, kick out. Now it just, again, disrupts the flow of the offense and stuff. So I like the pickups. I like the signings. I would still like to see an Arthur Kaluma. Cole Schweider is another guy that they could bring in. I will see what they do with Darius Baisley. Again, like outside of that, I talked about it, there's really only like 3 or 4 guys that were like stood out, and 2 of them were on the Lakers, right? They're already on the Lakers. Connect had his struggles, but he's on the Lakers and Bronny's on the Lakers. Other than that, it was Cole Schweider and Arthur Kaluma, right? That made sense on, 2 ways or whatever. Eric Dixon, see what happens with Eric Dixon now. I imagine that his injury is probably significant to where they're not bringing him on a 2-way, or they're going to waive, a Trey Jamison to bring in Eric Dixon, or, Arthur Kaluma, something like that. But no, I don't mind the Chris signing. I would have personally preferred Arthur Kaluma because I just think the Lakers need his size, but he looked really good in Summer League for the Warriors. We'll see how he translates to the NBA level. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.